Hey everybody, it's Nancy May from Doing It Best with Elder Care Success, and this is a sort of teaching episode. Have you ever been visiting your folks and found that they're sitting there covered in blankets or a jacket and they're still cold? You're, by the way, sweating and perspiring, thinking, what the heck is going on? It's like 95 degrees in this room and they're cold? Something's wrong. So as we get older, or as our parents get older, the amount of fat layer that they have under their skin thins down a bit. So that means it's more difficult for them to regulate their body heat. They get hotter faster. They may not realize it. That's the challenge there, because you don't want them to get heat exhaustion, especially now as we're going through some very tough times across the country with heat issues. And they get colder faster. So the other interesting thing from a cosmetic perspective is, have you ever noticed that as you get older, it's more difficult to wear heels? Well, guess what? The fat underneath the bottom of your feet or the ball of your foot also reduces. And the disgusting thing that I recently learned is that some cosmetic surgeons actually recommend injecting body fat into the balls of women's feet so they can continue to wear those vamp heels. I'll be polite and call them. In any case, nope. I'm not injecting fat into the bottom of my foot. Thank you. But anyway, the thing here is that the reason why I bring this up is because regulating body heat, and some reports actually say that older people or elderly people, the main body temperature actually reduces a little bit, not by a lot, but just a little bit. That's important to know, because just the slightest elevation in temperature in that particular case can mean an infection, and we don't want things to get worse. So the next time that you take your parents to the doctor or they go to the primary care doctor, talk to them about what is the baseline for their normal body temperature. If you've got somebody caring for them at home, then make sure that they monitor that body temperature and see what's going on. It's really easy to do with one of those electronic sort of scanning thermometers, and it's non-invasive. But at least you get a baseline of what's happening. What you don't want is want somebody to cook. I don't say cook. It actually happened to a friend of mine several years ago, or a number of years ago, an older gentleman and his wife, and he had a very high elevated temperature. His doctor said, don't worry about it. Just take plenty of fluids, lots of orange juice, rest, take a few aspirins, and call me if it gets worse. Well, his temperature was somewhere around 103 and 104 for several days. And the doctor kept saying the same thing over and over again. That's cause for concern. If your doctor says don't worry about it, do worry about it. Do your homework. And if you're concerned, all you have to do is take your parents or a loved one to either an emergency clinic or the emergency room. Temperature rates are something we really have to think about at this point in time. And just because they're sitting there freezing under a blanket or with a jacket on in their apartment or their house, or even a care facility, is something that you need to take notice of. You're going in there perspiring and sweating, something's off. So that's it for just a little tip of elder care success. Please note, I am not a medical professional, but these are the things that are happening over and over again, and some things that we just need to keep an eye on. Life changes at the end, and we can make it good for them and good for ourselves. And that does it for another episode of Elder Care Success on YouTube. On that note, you can also go to Elder Care Success, the podcast, and listen to it on any of your favorite podcast channels. That's at eldercaresuccess.live. And the episodes there are just a little different. So we'll see you soon, and we'll hear you soon. Bye-bye.